Okay, today I'd like to share a book with everyone. Richard M. Valelly's American Politics, a very short introduction, provides readers with a comprehensive yet concise framework for understanding the complexities, core institutions, and operating methods of the contemporary American political system. The book not only introduces the fundamental elements and institutions of American politics but also delves into how these elements interact and how they have evolved in historical and modern contexts. The book begins by highlighting the apparent quarrels and conflicts in American politics but also emphasizes the underlying potential for legislative deliberation and bipartisan cooperation. Beyond the prominent presidency, Congress, and Supreme Court, the author points out the importance of national regulatory agencies, like the Federal Reserve, Environmental Protection Agency, forming an administrative state, even though they are not explicitly mentioned in the 1787 Constitution. Furthermore, the existence of state and local governments as subnational entities constitutes another crucial part of the American political landscape. The core mechanisms connecting these institutions to citizens' wishes are elections and appointments, along with officials' continuous attention to public opinion. However, American politics extends far beyond official institutions. The author emphasizes the significant influence of extra-constitutional players, including the media, law firms, labor unions, lobbying groups, social movements, and even religious leaders. Among these, the networks of organizations connected to the two major political parties, Democrats and Republicans, are considered the most influential extra-constitutional institutions. Political parties play an indispensable role in American democracy. They are the sole legitimate pathway for placing people into public office, providing career ladders for politicians, offering distinct policy programs to the public, and educating and mobilizing citizens through campaigns, shaping their political identities, e.g., liberal Democrats or conservative Republicans. People's motivations for engaging in politics vary, including intrinsic passion as well as extrinsic goals, such as promoting or blocking specific policies. The modern American presidency, influenced by the rhetorical presidency concept, sees the president as a key communicator, a role that evolved from Roosevelt's fireside chats to today's fragmented media. The growth of the executive branch under Roosevelt led to the 1939 establishment of the Executive Office of the President, EOP, for policy expertise. Presidents now strategically use public opinion polls to shape their communication and garner support. This has created a more proactive and knowledge-driven presidency, though also more challenging. Concurrently, the U.S. Congress, comprising the House, 435 seats by population, and the Senate, 100 seats, per state, is designed with interconnected, yet distinct roles. Senators have longer terms, 6 years versus the House's 2, and were initially indirectly elected. The size difference results in House members specializing in policy, while senators are more generalists. Leadership structures vary, with a powerful speaker in the House, and negotiation-based leadership in the Senate. The Senate's filibuster rule, now often a threat rather than actual debate, requires a 60-vote supermajority for significant legislation and appointments, empowering the minority party and potentially limiting the Senate's agenda. The legislative-executive process inherently risks gridlock due to differing election cycles and constituencies, a risk amplified by partisan and ideological polarization. While unified government isn't a prerequisite for legislative output, polarization has reduced significant legislation. Tools like omnibus bills and budget reconciliation, used for major policies like the Affordable Care Act, despite the Byrd Rule, help bypass gridlock. However, partisan conflict often delays personnel appointments, leading presidents to use recess appointments. The Supreme Court, a crucial political player, handles major issues via legal cases and uses judicial review to assess governmental constitutionality. It controls its agenda through the Rule of 4 and maintains a formal image. Its role is debated as either an educator clarifying the Constitution or a policymaker influenced by justices' political values. The author sees it as a mix, where its political relevance enhances its educational function. Despite public criticism, the bureaucracy provides essential services, efficiency of delegation, allows experts to handle complex tasks, freeing up politicians and citizens. However, failures occur, and the bureaucracy often becomes a political battleground. Various actors, including Congress, the President, and courts, employ strategies to control or influence it. Most Americans have limited political knowledge and attention spans, influenced by cognitive biases. Scientific polling offers a channel for public influence, creating a signal environment for politicians. Despite manipulation concerns, media fragmentation limits this. Research shows a notable alignment between public policy and majority opinion, making polling a key part of modern democracy. American politics has always featured a duality of constitutional bodies and extra-constitutional parties. Despite early warnings against factionalism, parties stabilized the young republic by fostering competition and mobilizing citizens. In the 19th century, parties shaped citizenship, expanded suffrage, and created a vibrant political culture, establishing the peaceful transfer of power and shaping the Electoral College. Contemporary U.S. politics is marked by strong partisan and ideological polarization, contrasting with the weaker parties of the mid to late 20th century. Increased party loyalty, fewer independents, and ideological alignment with party have led to more intense competition, election integrity concerns, higher turnout, and broader engagement. Despite modern campaigning differences, this partisan resurgence has coincided with unprecedented legal inclusiveness, extending voting rights to various minority groups, and making parties and officials more representative. The book's conclusion addresses rising economic inequalities' political impact, a point of major Democrat-Republican divergence. Data shows a top-earner income surge since the 1970s, raising concerns about wealth concentrating power. While campaign finance and lobbying are scrutinized, research on money's direct influence is nuanced. Despite an equal representation favoring organized interests, the competitive-to-party system offers some political equalization by responding to public mood, keeping parties accountable. Valelly's American Politics, a very short introduction, clearly outlines the core institutions, key players, and dynamic relationships within the American political system. It demonstrates both the framework of constitutional design and how extra-constitutional forces like parties, public opinion, and interest groups shape and alter that framework. Through weaving historical and contemporary narratives, the book reveals the enduring tensions and evolution of American democracy concerning checks and balances, representation, citizen participation, and responses to socio-economic challenges like inequality, highlighting its nature as both stable and perpetually in progress.